Hello and welcome. So today it is all about what does a summer fragrance smell like in 2025? Through the years, we've come to know the summer season as the time where we pull out tropical fragrances, right? Fragrances that have those tropical fruits or tropical like florals but there has been like a shift recently into a more subtle approach to tropical or summer fragrances. So today I'm going to be sharing with you the 5 trends that we are finding in this new shift in summer fragrances. And as I do so, I will be sharing with you some of the perfumes that I definitely think are perfect for the summer season within that new trend, so that we can be all up to date as to what are the perfumes that we should be wearing during this season in 2025. We find that in 2025, it's no longer about those fragrances that are heavy on like that coconut that is more like a sunscreen, like a suntan lotion or something like that. That scent, it's not so much about that as much as it is like putting you right there at the beach, giving you the feel of being like right there at the beach, and also making you feel like you're outside on a beautiful, warm, sunny, blue-skied day. So in other words, the shift that we've experienced has taken us from like over-engineered, complex fragrances into a more subtle approach to a summer perfume, where instead of just being overpowering with those very strong summer scents, it's more about like a soft whisper in your ear where you're almost hearing like the sound of the waves, or you're feeling that light breeze that you get on a very warm, sunny day as you step outside. I want you to know that, of course, as I share with you these fragrances, I will be giving you some level of detail, but not much, because I have already reviewed all of these fragrances here on the channel. And I also want you to know that as I share them, I will be like giving each trend a name. You know how I love to get creative around that. So I've created like my own trend name. I will also not be sharing them in any particular order. These are all fragrances that I do highly recommend and that I really, really do enjoy. Some of them are new 2025 releases, but most are not. I have a couple of designer fragrances and of course some niche. So let's go ahead and jump right in, because we have quite a bit to cover. But before we do so, if this is your first time here, I'm Arahi and I'm your fragrance concierge, because I'm totally committed to creating the best fragrance experience for you. I upload videos multiple times a week, and on this channel, we love to talk about all types of fragrances. So if that sounds like the type of content that you're interested in, and like a good plan, then please consider subscribing, give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget, leave a comment. Let's go. All right, so the first category that I want to cover with you today, or the first trend, but this is how I named this trend, is fragrances that will give you the feel of being at the beach, like for real. So it's called Being at the Beach for Real, right? So it's fragrances that are not just going to give you kind of like the vibe of being at the beach. No, when you wear this fragrance, you are truly going to feel like you are at the beach. And I think that the perfect fragrance right now to give you that feel, and that is directly in line with that trend, is Carner Barcelona La Playa. Now, this is a fragrance that was just launched in 2025, and I have already reviewed it here on the channel. I am absolutely in love with this fragrance. Here you're going to find some ylang-ylang, some pistachio, cardamom. It is just such an incredibly realistic summer fragrance if you're looking to get that feel of being like really at the beach, like with your toes, buried under the sand, sitting in your chair with like an umbrella and just like sniffing that, seawater, the hearing the waves, all that. Oh, it's just incredible. Sea salt everywhere. This is so realistic. So this is a fragrance that also performs very, very nicely. And I am going to give you a little secret on how I make this last longer without having to continue to respray the fragrance. This next one is also in the same category, but this one is a bit more luxurious, let's call it, and it's from House of Bo, and this is El Sireno. Now, El Sireno is a fragrance that will truly give you the feel of like luxury and wealth at the beach. It's like the marina kind of side of that scent profile. It is just an amazingly gorgeous fragrance. This fragrance smells to me like if I'm like in the Hamptons, attending like an oceanside all-white party. That's what I get from this fragrance. It is so realistic. It is truly the smell of wealth and opulence without doing too much. It's like exquisite without trying too hard. But I tell you, it is absolute perfection if you are looking for that at the beach for real kind of feel. But this one is not so much about being at the beach as La Playa. This is more of like you're in that beach environment or in a beach town and you are going, either out or you're going for a stroll outside, not necessarily to the beach. You're going shopping into boutiques, or you're going on a yacht, or you're going to a marina party, or as I said, an oceanside party somewhere. This is absolute perfection, and that is the vibe that you're going to get from it immediately. Now, when I shared La Playa with you earlier, I did tell you that I was going to give you or share with you one of my little secrets on how I make this type of fragrance last a bit longer. La Playa has very good performance, but I really do not want to bring this fragrance to the beach. Like in my beach tote, I don't want to bring this fragrance to reapply it. So if I've been in the water swimming and I come out, I don't want to have this bottle just sitting in that very high degree weather waiting for me to respray. And I also don't want to bring a decant because, the chemicals of the perfume will actually break down with that excessive heat. So what I do is I bring with me coconut skin from Phlur. Now this is my second bottle, guys, because this is a body mist that I absolutely love. It has a very realistic coconut note, but this coconut is more like a coconut musky skin scent. That is what I get, but it is very realistic. But the funny thing is that if I'm wearing any of these two fragrances or any fragrance that has that tropical vibe to it, and I don't want to bring a decant or a full bottle, this is perfection for you to spray it all over your skin and top off, because if you go into the water, if you've been wearing, let's say, La Playa all day and you go to the water and you're swimming and you come out, then I would spray this all over. Oh, you can thank me later, because you are absolutely going to love how nicely this performs. And I know that there's also beach skin from Phlur, but I really do prefer coconut skin when it comes to those specific situations where I'm at the beach or at a beach town or, on a boat party or somewhere. This is the one that I really prefer. I don't know, there's just something about coconut skin that makes me feel like a bit more of a realistic beach vibe than that I get from beach skin. Beach skin is also quite lovely, but again, I do prefer coconut skin. So the next trend that I do want to share with you, I've decided to call It's Tea Time. And it's all about fragrances that have a very centric tea note. You will agree with me that we've had quite the number of fragrances launched recently, and in the past couple of years, there's been quite the number of tea fragrances. But I have to tell you that the one that I'm about to share with you will always be my favorite tea fragrance, because this perfume is a lifer for me. It is just absolutely incredible. And I'm speaking about Nishane Wulong Cha. And for me, the original, not the X, is even better. Like, I prefer the original versus the X. I do enjoy them both, but this one is just spectacular. And I have to tell you, the beauty of this is that, while it has that very dominant tea note, because I do pick up on it immediately, it is a fragrance that balances that tea note very nicely with like some citrusy notes, and it is also fresh, spicy. And I find that that fresh spiciness brings like an additional layer of character and oomph to the fragrance that I think you'll really enjoy on a summer day. Here you're going to find oolong tea, and some fig. And within the spicy notes, the one that sticks out to me the most is definitely the nutmeg, even though I do pick up a couple of other notes that have not been disclosed. But I definitely do clearly pick up on the nutmeg, and it does take the lead. But this fragrance is all about that tea, those citrusy notes, and that bit of fresh spiciness. I tell you, if you have tried Wulong Cha, please let us know how you feel about it. And do you agree with me that for this trend of all of these tea fragrances for the summer, don't you think that this is still perfection? So within this, it's tea time. I also wanted to share with you another fragrance that I have shared with you before, and I'm shaking it because it does require you to shake it. I know, but this one really does. So this one is from Giorgio Armani Prive, and this one is the Yulong Soie de Nacre. Now this fragrance, oh, I mean, look at this beautiful bottle. This bottle alone gives me summer vibes immediately. But this is another tea-centric fragrance that I absolutely enjoy. I mean, I tell you, these tea fragrances for me are so special and so perfect for the summer season. So I am so glad that we are on that trend, because I've had this one for a couple of years, I believe, and I really do think it is exquisite. But here, instead of having oolong tea, you have like green tea and black tea. So there's a difference. You know, if you're saying, well, Arahi, you know, 2 tea fragrances for the same season, well, I have many more than these, but these 2 are definitely my favorites. And what I love is that I can clearly pick up on the green tea and black tea here. In addition to that, there are some white florals. I can't really say that I pick up on a specific white floral. For me, it's like a bouquet of white florals. But this fragrance, I tell you, this is so versatile. You can use it for any occasion, day or night. If you are into tea fragrances, you just can't go wrong with Wulong Cha or Soie de Nacre. So the next trend that I want to cover with you, I want to call all about that fig, because it's all of these fragrances that are being launched that have the note of fig, and they are just also incredible. So here I have for you 2 fragrances that are very different. The first one is from the liquid Imaginaire, and this one is Le Pourpre. And I'm sure that I'm mispronouncing it. I apologize. I have shared, discussed, and reviewed this fragrance here on the channel for you before. This is one of the most underrated fragrances that I have in my collection, because others within the Liquids Imaginaire collection get all the attention. But I think I even featured this fragrance in one of those videos that I have where I say, you know, fragrances that should be hyped but have not been hyped, or something like that. But this fragrance, this is just perfection for the summer if you are a fig lover. But the beauty of this one is that I use it all throughout the year. The fig here has been done in such an exquisitely beautiful way. So what I love about this fragrance is that you have such an interesting blend of notes that you don't typically find in other fragrances. Here you have ginger, which you know how I love that note. Ginger, you have angelica, then you have some whipped cream, and of course you have that note of fig. But when I tell you, this fragrance is just perfection for any occasion that is a special occasion, not necessarily formal, but a special occasion during the summer season. A very versatile fragrance. This is not one that I would wear to the beach necessarily, but if you're going for a beach town stroll, or again, you're going shopping, or you're meeting some friends for lunch, you know, and it's a beautiful summer day, this is just absolutely exquisite. You can use it for date night, you can use it for an evening occasion, for going out to cocktails. Absolutely exquisite fragrance. This is truly a beautiful fig that will make you feel beautiful and elegant without losing that summer touch. Now, I told you that in It's All About That Fig, I had 2 fragrances for you, and this next one, this next one is, I believe, yeah, it's a 2024 release, but I have already shared it, of course, here on the channel, and I am absolutely in love with this one. This is just such a different twist of a fragrance, and I'm speaking about Dries van Noten, and this one is Vanille Camouflage. I mean, the bottle alone, guys, the bottle alone tells you everything about the beauty of this fragrance. So while it does have the note of fig, I can tell you that the fig to my nose is not quite dominant because it is such an exquisite blend of all of the notes involved. But the fragrance really is about that note of vanilla, but most importantly, it's really about that green accord. There is a very dominant green accord in this fragrance that will take you all the way from first sniff throughout the olfactory journey and throughout the wear of the fragrance. You are going to pick up on the fig, but the fig balances out very nicely with all the other notes, including the vanilla, because the vanilla is really the main star of the fragrance. But I just thought that this is a fragrance that I had to bring to this lineup if I was going to discuss fragrances with the note of fig, because here it's been done beautifully. And if you are a vanilla fragrances lover and you typically don't pull vanilla during the summer because it can be a little bit too dense or cloying, well, this fragrance does not have that problem, and you will still feel beautiful while smelling incredibly like the summer season. So the next trend that we are finding when it comes to summer fragrances during 2025, I would like to call this trend "Let's Go Bananas," because there has been, I wouldn't say that there's been a lot of banana fragrances that have been released for the summer, but the ones that we have seen are just absolutely incredible. But I have to tell you, in this trend, I'm only going to share with you one fragrance because I think that this fragrance really deserves all of the credit for being the banana fragrance of 2025. And this is from Kayali, Maui in a Bottle Sweet Banana 37. If you have not gotten your nose on this perfume, whether you're a banana lover or not, I am telling you, you need to get your nose on it because I assure you, you are going to love it. This is just absolutely addictive. Addictive is the word that I need to use. But at that, you are going to feel like, you are like in Maui, but at that, you don't have to go that far or incur that expense, but you are going to feel like you're in Maui. You're going to feel like it's a beautiful summer day, whether you're at the beach, whether you're just going for a stroll, whether you're just running some errands on a summer day. If you spray this on, you are going to feel like beach mode. You're going to feel like summer day, and you are going to be right on trend with what's in for 2025. So you are going to smell absolutely fabulous. So in this fragrance, you are going to find, of course, the banana, but you're also going to pick up on a very realistic pear and a very creamy coconut. Oh, there's also some white florals here and vanilla. This is just, when I tell you, this to me is like a masterpiece summer fragrance. I absolutely love it. I already have a backup bottle because let me tell you, so, when Kayali launched the little tiny bottles last year, I went through those and I went through several of those like really quick. So I was so glad when these were launched now in 2025, like the 50 ml size, but I really wish that Mona would give us the 100 ml because this is just exceptional. So within the changes in summer fragrances that we're experiencing in 2025, of course, we have to discuss, and I'm wiping it because I don't want my fingerprints to show. Of course, we have to discuss gourmand fragrances, and a couple of the fragrances that I've shared with you so far could be considered gourmands, but I did want to address this trend because it's quite dominant right now. So instead of going for a full-on yummy gourmand perfume, what we're finding in summer fragrances of 2025 is more of a twist towards like savory, herbal, aromatic kind of fragrances. And at that, I have the perfect fragrance for you, and it's from Amouage, and this is Lineage. If you are into herbal, aromatic, spicy fragrances, you definitely need to try Lineage because you are going to fall absolutely in love. This fragrance is just Perfection. This fragrance was launched at the same time that we saw, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was when Guidance, not Guidance 46, but when Guidance was first launched, Lineage also came out at the same time. And I believe that just because of that, it didn't receive the attention that it deserves. And I have discussed this fragrance here on the channel. I keep bringing it to your attention because it is truly a very special fragrance that does deserve much more attention than when it's received. So Lineage, for me, has dominant notes that make it very, very wearable during the summer season, because typically when a fragrance is this spicy, you may wonder, oh, is that going to be a bit much for a very hot summer day? But no. So this fragrance opens with a very realistic note of ginger. There's also some saffron here, some pepper, and then you have, you have other notes, but the patchouli comes in my opinion, to give the fragrance like that dry down of a tad of woodiness that's also like creamy. And it's not too much. It honestly is perfect for the summer season in my opinion. But this is a fragrance that I will pull throughout the entire year. It's just that that ginger does give the fragrance a certain degree of airiness when it comes to those spicy notes. But now this is one that I would not necessarily wear to the beach per se, but definitely for any other occasion during the summer. Now the last fragrance that I'm going to share with you is still within the category of an herb garden summer. And this is a fragrance that I've shared here with you on the channel so many times because it's a lifer for me. This fragrance is not a 2025 or 2024 or 2023. It's been around quite a while. This is either my second or third bottle. I think this may be my third bottle, and this is a lifer fragrance for me. The good news is also that, I'll be able to, of course, I will link all of these fragrances in the description box for you, and where I have a discount code, I will also leave it for you. But this one, you'll be able to get at a good price, and I'll be sure to leave a link for you because this one has been around quite a while. So it's available at discounters, but I have recommended this fragrance so many times, and I'm going to do it again. And it's from Hermes, and it's Un Jardin sur Vanille. This is a fragrance that if you have not tried it, trust me, please try this fragrance. Go into your local Hermes store if you don't want to trust me and just pick it up and sniff this fragrance, and you can thank me later. This is a fragrance that has tomato, but it's more like a tomato leaf note. It has some carrot, some citrusy notes, and iris. But here, it is not about one specific note. It's about that entire herbal, and it's not that spicy. It's more of I can't even explain it. It's more of like an herbal, but there's a sweetness to it. It is just absolute perfection. This is the fragrance that anytime I wear it, people around me take the name or try to Google it right there and try to pick it up to make sure that they get the right bottle. Or my friends, will not tell me, and then they'll end up picking them up. I've shared with you that story in other videos. But this is an exceptionally gorgeous fragrance that is perfection. Perfect. I mean, you can wear it all throughout the year if you want to, but for me, this is perfect for spring and summer. And during the summer, you just can't go wrong. Please let us know, have you tried Un Jardin sur Vanille? And the other thing is that this fragrance has a note that I rarely find in other perfumes, which is the note of bulrush. This is a fragrance that you can wear for any occasion, day or night. You can dress it up, you can dress it down, and get ready because you are going to get a ton of compliments. All right, so we've reached the end of today's video, and I just wanted to come here and share with you what are the trends that we are seeing in summer 2025 perfumes, and give you my top recommendations within each trend this year, right? Because next year I may have other recommendations within the same trend type or category. Anyway, I hope that this was enjoyable for you. If you have any additional questions, you know where to find me. Remember that I will link them all in the description box for you and leave a discount code if I have one available. As always, thank you so much for hanging with me today, and I will see you all in the next video.